Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Hello, all.
What's up, Vaughn?
What's up?
All right, so, and then this is going to be, we're going to touch on this briefly because we've got other stuff to talk about. But, you know, the story that we covered before about Rick and Morty being canceled, like possibly canceled.
Yeah.
That looks like it's happening.
Yep.
Now, and this is coming from the creator's mouth, mind
Yeah.
you, that
Yes, he tweeted.
you know, so, and again, Billy, I understand you mean well and everything, but, like, this is not even coming from us. This is coming from, like, the creator of, like, creators of Rick and Morty. So, if it gets where they don't renew it on Adult Swim, it's canceled. And then if it comes back somewhere else, okay. But ultimately, we don't want it to happen, obviously.
But but here's the thing. Okay, I see what you're saying, that it did say cancel, but given its track record with the good example is Boondocks. Boondocks was slated to come back. They hold it off, or even Ventura Brothers or Metalocalypse, they all hold back on it for 2 or 3 years between. Ventura was like 2 years between the last of the season finale and their recent shows, which was a long time ago because they don't even show Ventura Brothers. So I understand that, but here's the thing: if they do it that way, it's probably gonna be 2 years between third and fourth, and it is going to get canceled because even when they put shows up like that, there's no possibility of them coming back unless the fans intervene. And I have seen shows come back because the fan intervened, i.e. Roseanne and them. But what I'm trying to say is, even though they said that they're not to be renewed equals cancellation.
Yeah, basically. Even if it goes on to another network.
Yeah, that's
it's canceled for now.
That's just
canceled on that network that it started with.
Yeah.
It's a politically correct way of saying that we know you want this show. It's not been renewed, but we're gonna hold it for 2 or 3 years after the fact, like they did More or Ventura Brothers, Metalocalypse. You name all the shows that was worth something on Adult Swim does this. What About Checker been canceled too, and then brought back. So this is a pattern with Adult Swim. Now, for me personally, it's going to lead to cancellation because nowhere in the world. I mean, I think they're stupid for doing it, but even when you renew it, that equals cancellation. So it's
somewhere along the lines, the creators are angry with them. They're angry with the creators, and it's not going to work. So
the network probably wants them to tone something down, and they probably said no.
Or they just being, I don't know why they don't want a successful show, obviously.
Called Roar, which was real good. And they wanted them to do go off a different route. And I forget if that was the reason why they decided not to renew, but
and everybody's covering it and saying the same thing anyway.
Yeah.
So,
and also Dan Hartman, this is not something that I made up. Dan Hartman actually tweeted that to the fans because the fans was like, you should be finished with season 4 right now. Where is it? And he said, well, he made a joke of his alcoholism. Apparently he does, which is serious. He was very tongue-in-cheeky, like he should be writing this fictional story with Rick and Morty, but Adult Swim have not contacted them for another season.
But why should he write all these scripts and waste his time if they're not going to? When they say, okay, we want a new season, that's when he writes.
There you go.
But he's not going to do that if he doesn't get the okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'll be futile.
That's what he was saying.
So that story was accurate that we covered. So
exactly.
Another story that we covered about KB Toys. Now, I haven't. While the company has talked about it and given the website and given the numbers, this may not be approved because then it's like a last-ditch effort for, I guess, Toys R Us to survive by a company that they purchased to survive in the first place, and they're using that as a way to have an opening to come back by the company that they were never going to use ever because they considered that a failure. But now that they are a failure themselves, they're trying to use it to
Hot
save
dog
their.
tail.
They're trying to use it to save their ass.
Yeah.
And the thing is, yes, if KB Toys was popping up all over the place, would it survive? Probably for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you do it right, and I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen now. But you can't do it the wrong way. If KB Toys comes back, you can't be the form that it was before it went out of business. No TVs, no digital cameras, no wooden floors. Go back to old school retro blue. It's got to look for like kids. The kids like love it. The rugs, blue rugs, exclusive toys, but maybe new stuff, obviously. But it's got to have the old retro feel, or else it's not going to work. None of that new wooden floors and nonsense.
Oh, that looks
no. And stupid TVs promoting shows that never had action figures in the store to begin with. No. So let's just do that. Let's keep it simple. You gotta have the hottest video games.
Like a kid would enter a playroom.
Yeah.
Gotta have the hottest action figures too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get the super value crap either. Don't get the cheapy toys. It's gotta be main toys, man.
Stores.
That's it.
You have to make people want to go back and get that interpersonal back, where people want to actually come out and go to the stores, because that's the problem right now. Everything is online, and I was looking up stuff with Canada, and half of their stores are not online. So basically, you have to actually go to their stores, which I say go for it, because that's a good way of doing things. Because I think you leave out, if we keep it this way, we leave out experiences with that. You know, who wants to see a child's happiness when they go to pick out their first toy, or you know, that stuff like that. So, I mean, personally, I think that I'm not too thrilled the way it's going. I mean, I think
I have a connection
to
KB Toys, a deep one. So I want it to come back, but in the vision that it was when I was a kid that brought me in there, not the one that came afterwards where they tried to change their business model and it failed and it kept failing and it kept failing. And no.
And they didn't want to see that.
Forget about the cheapy toys. No, we don't need to go that route. No. And if you need to carry new stuff, like new departments in there to survive, fine. KB Toys started as a candy store. Really, it was a candy store with little knickknacks, Kaufman Brothers, and then they evolved into toys and stuff. So you know what? Whatever changed,
in other words,
we need to change. We need to change. But you know what? Let's keep the old look. Why not? Yeah. So,
hey Sally,
what's up, Sally? How are you, Sally?
Yeah, because KB started becoming like just another cookie cutter toy store, and that's what also killed it. If it kept its retro look, carpeted floors as though you walked into a playroom.
It's got to look. Here's the thing: it can't look like. See, the thing was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember buying my superpower figures in the 70s, in KB Toys, late 70s, right?
Yeah.
My Atari 2600 games in a bin. They were getting, clearanced out, different things. Mm-hmm. I bought everything there. I had fond memories, and I said, one day I'm going to work there when I get older, and I did. I was a assistant manager, then I became store manager. So I ran the whole damn store. Yeah. And that was a dream of mine to do, and I actually did it. The store that I shopped in as a kid, I took it over, and I was like happy. So it's got to have they tried to update it. They tried to make it like, let's be hip. Carpets are bad, wooden floors are good, and and let's have TVs and let's make it high tech. No. Get rid of all that garbage. Go back to when it was successful. Mm-hmm. Never heard about KB Toys going out of business in the 70s or even in the 80s. Nope. But when they started doing all this nonsense in the late 90s and all that, and then it started having problems all the time. So,
it's just like I said, it turned into one of those cookie cutter toy stores, and
the wrong people ran the show, and they ran it to the ground. And that's basically how you doing, Sally? What's going on? So speaking that we're talking the retro field and the retro look, now we're going to talk about a huge story that just broke also.
Sorry.
That's okay. And we're going to cover this right now. And thank God Atari changed the name, and it's no longer called Atari Box, but something else entirely, because that was just nonsense. But a new Atari system is coming back, to try to shake up the video gaming industry, and it's called Atari VCS. Now, they probably tried to get you with the VCR type of thing, and they took the R away. VCS, I love it. Okay, now here's...
I have to say, that
does this stand, the VCS stands for Virtual Console System?
Maybe. I'm not sure. They didn't say. But here's the 2 controllers. One to play the classic stuff, and then a new one to play the new stuff.
Yep.
And there we go. And it kind of looks interesting.
Oh my God, that looks
that is cool.
retro. It's beautiful.
It is on like Donkey Kong, but you won't see Donkey Kong on there because this is not Nintendo. But still,
but I am wondering one thing: is this going to be all downloadable stuff or streaming stuff?
You know what? I am buying this mother effer. Whatever.
Granted, I know I'm probably going to be one of the first in lines as well because I still got my 2600, even though I can't connect it to this TV.
I had Atari 2600, I had 5200, but then I stopped with 7800 because I'm like, no, I didn't like it. Got a Commodore 64, and then blah blah blah. But anyway,
2600. Then it went to the NES, Sega, PS2.
Well, you got PS1. You didn't get PS1.
I never did get
PlayStation, just regular PlayStation. You never got?
Yeah, I never did.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is where I came.
TurboGrafx 16 I had 2, and Genesis.
I started out with, I was going to get the Atari, but something happened that my mom couldn't afford it, so she got me the Nintendo. Then I went to Super NES, and then I did not go to 64 or anything like that. I went straight to PlayStation 1.
I gotta tell you a bit. The Nintendo 64, I hated the way it looked, but I think what got me to get it, which was a waste, because I hated the system actually, was the GoldenEye. That's why I bought it. But I really didn't have that many games for it, and I couldn't stand the system. I think it was the worst Nintendo system of all time. I still think that way, even with the Wii and the Wii U. I still think that Nintendo 64 was the worst. But I had everything. I had TurboGrafx 16. I had Genesis. I had the PlayStation. I had PlayStation 2. I had the Dreamcast. I didn't get the Sega CD because I thought it was a gimmick, and it was. I didn't get I got the Vita, but for the kids eventually. I never got the PSP because I was working in the video game industry. I thought they were full of crap and they were never supporting the system, and they don't. Sony should never put out a portable because they never support it as much as they support the main system.
When a buddy of mine had it, there was hardly any games out.
And I even feel, too, that Nintendo also doesn't support. Like, if it was a Game Boy Advance, they support it. But after Game Boy Advance, they really didn't. They threw scraps at it. And that's not – you should have a company that supports the portable and the main system at the same time in the same energy and not throw scraps at the – if you're not going to give it 100%, then don't even go into it. So I'm very weary about buying any new portables from now on. So
the only portable I remember having is that little game in which Star-Lord had in the second.
No, okay.
You talking about Game Boy?
No, what did he have?
He had that little football game. That little.
Oh, I had that too.
Okay.
I don't even like football, and I had that. Wow.
He had Command or something, whatever it was called, and I took that thing apart left, right, and center. And,
he had the Zoom. He got the Zoom. It was like so outdated. Oh,
I know.
God, like
it's pretty funny.
I love the sentimental value behind it, but I was like, oh man, you could do done better than that one.
Bing Rhymes joined Cagney and Lacey reboot.
Oh, good. He's playing the Sarge. Well, the captain.
I don't know. I guess so.
Because that was the lead person on it.
I guess. And Cloak and Dagger, they gave them a poster. Oh God.
Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, that's that freeform thing. Oh Jesus, that poster sucks. Oh, can we cover that? Let me show this. God. They put a show out there on Freeform. When we first saw the thing, it sucked, the teaser. When we saw the clip, it was okay. This is a shitty-ass.
Oh, what the heck is this?
That is like somebody did it in their basement.
Yeah.
Cloak and Dagger.
Like she got she got the pants from probably like the dollar store, and just like a T-shirt from the dollar store. He's just, I don't know what the hell. He looks like he's on drugs and he's spacing out. Like, I don't understand.
It looks like they're trying to do it. Looks like he's trying to come from fog with the way they've got his cloak.
First of all, they don't even know. They totally got it wrong the way they're supposed to look. And I just don't get it. Maybe they don't have the money, but I'm going to show you how they're supposed to look.
Yeah.
Don't know what the heck is
and
Freeform, you need to up your game. You started off, let's be honest, Freeform. You started off as CBN, and then you went way up to Family.
Right. So ask me how you saw the poster, what they want, right? But then this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on. What the hell? I mean, like, that is totally...
Somebody posted, somebody just got really lazy. And
like, I mean, what, you don't want to show cleavage? Or you don't, I mean, they have to have suits. It's stupid.
Well,
they could easily do something which they did with the...
Come on, man.
White.
They're not even trying hard.
From Generation X. They could have easily gone that route.
This is pathetic. They're not even trying hard.
No, they're not.
God. What the hell is wrong with them?
Did they
It's gonna be a season.
Photoshop CS free trial?
I don't know.
Ended.
What else do we have to talk about? Oh yes, finally Spider-Man has his spider sense in Infinity War, Billy.
Ooh.
Damn it.
After the
God, Billy.
Oh, it's just called. Oh, forget that.
And I'm sorry, Billy, but Black Panther was a great movie, so I don't know what you're saying. But
he said Black Panther wasn't a good movie.
Well, it wasn't hit. Well, I'm not gonna say anything because then it's like we're not coming after Billy. I'm not gonna say anything.
Now, Joe, you know it was cold on the bus, and that's why.
And I thought Killmonger was a great villain. I know what you're talking about, but all right.
Arm hairs were starting to stick up. Listen.
Well, he's entitled to his opinion.
I love Black Panther is one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
I thought it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And the villain is flawed because that's the type of villain is. He's not right. The villains are not supposed to be right about things. They're supposed to be wrong about things, and then the hero has to defeat them. So he doesn't make any sense because that's what he is. He's screwed up in the head because as a child on the basketball field, his dad died, and he just got all this bent-up rage and frustration and anger, so he channeled it in becoming a mercenary where he didn't give a shit about anything but taking over the throne to Wakanda, and he didn't give a shit about anybody but his mother, and that was it. Didn't matter, a girlfriend, didn't matter, whatever. That's the whole point of Killmonger, because he kills people. He's a Killmonger. He kills everyone. Yeah. Don't you get it? That's what he is.
Those little points on his body.
But that's why he has a name, common sense. He's not supposed to care about anybody.
But the other hand, you probably prefer the villains to not have character development at all.
This character had tons of development. And you know what? He's supposed to be defeated. Someone like this, who doesn't have heart, doesn't care, will get defeated. He's a villain. You're not and this is the new age stuff. These people want you to care about the villains. You're not supposed to care about the villains. Okay? You're supposed to hate the villains. You're supposed to be, I want the villains to be defeated. You can't be like, I love this villain. No. Villains are villains. So you're supposed to want them to get defeated and beaten. And that's the whole point. I think this new age garbage is in people's heads. They're like, oh, what's his motivation? And why does he have to kill Andy Serkis? And what's his name? Serkis? Why do we have to kill this? Why do you have to kill his girlfriend? Because he's Killmonger.
Yes.
It says it in his name. If there's any room for error, look at his name. But that's what I'm saying.
It's not. It's
common sense. Like Spider-Man's supposed to have spider sense. He didn't in Civil War. Now we have it in Infinity War. But Killmonger doesn't mean like Rainbow Bright. Yeah. Picking up daisies and smiling at people. No. Killmonger means he'll kill everybody.
Exactly.
He may use that as
everybody. God, it's so simple. Billy, man. Did you not get that? Damn. And you're on me about spider sense?
As a
oh my God.
Get you close to him.
Spell it out for you, bro.
Yeah. he might do the whole rainbow bright to get you close to him, but then he'll use his first name to stab you in the back.
This ain't no politically correct thing. Oh, maybe we could turn him to the good side. Get the F out of here. This ain't Star Wars. Get the hell out of here with Darth Vader. No.
Are you trying to make Killmonger a anti-hero type
What
character?
the hell, man?
That's what you... No.
First of all, I just want to get this to Billy. Billy, did you know that Killmonger's father was crooked and evil and wanted money for himself, that he sold out his own people? And don't give me this bull crap about people on the streets. His father didn't give a shit about people on the streets. His father gave a shit about number one, himself and his kid and his wife. And that's it. He didn't give a shit about his own people. He sold illegal vibranium.
He would have.
Exactly. He sold illegal vibranium, not because it's for black people in the streets. That's bullshit. And even if he told that to call his father, that was bullshit too.
Mm-hmm.
There's no bullshit. Like, he wasn't. Was he loading up all the black people in the streets? No. He was fucking making money off it and profiting off of it. So that's bullshit. People throw shit in night all the time. No. And Killmonger, he didn't fucking care about people in the streets, even though he said he did. That's bullshit. It's all bullshit. He just wanted to rule Wakanda because he felt that was his heritage, because his dad told him.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's in line, yeah.
And once he got it, he was a dick about it. Like, oh, fucking burn this, burn that, burn it, fuck. He didn't care. They're like, but that's our whole culture. He's like, I don't fucking care.
He was going to dictate. He was becoming a dictator, basically.
He was the worst that any villain could possibly be.
And nothing, and Nature's Lord is not saying this off the back of his ass. This is actually the information that was from the actual movie. Listen, I read the comics back in the day. I have a lot of Black Panther comics, okay? And I'm not just trying to use that as a guide. But this movie, I love this movie. I know this movie. You just missed out on the whole point of... I mean, you know, forget about... When you watch Black Panther, you can't think of New Age bullshit. And this was created a long time ago. So you got to understand that, and stop looking at villains like you want to love them. And forget about that, Carl. It was created in a different time period. And it was created to have a message behind it, because that was their thing. That's what that is the foundation of where Marvel was created, to have a message. So you can't look at it like from a DC point of view or a Titan point of view or any of these other comics, because the foundation of Marvel comics was to educate people on the social injustice of what's going on. Now, they have built away from that, but that is their mission statement, though. That's what Stan Lee founded that company on. He wanted to, with X-Men and with Black Panther, he wanted to discuss, to have a dialogue with people about racial injustice, social injustice, all of this, to bring awareness to people.
And to say T'Challa is not a real king or wasn't a good king, are you kidding me? He brought everybody together. Like, he didn't want to kill the guy when the guy challenged him. He was thinking with his head, not with his rage. And he's like, you know what? I don't want to kill him, even though he challenged me. You know, we should all be together. Yeah. You know, like that group that's been in the shadows and living in the freaking whatever, they could be with us. And then in the end, they will all work together.
Yeah.
And not only that, but he did share the technology with the world to help people.
Yeah, because it's all about bringing a new environment, a new respect for people, harmony, peace. That's the message.
That's the best king there is.
Yeah, and that's why it's doing so well, because it brings those statements and it brings Marvel to the forefront of different issues and telling it in an intelligent and exciting and entertainment way of doing things. And that's what Marvel is good at. And that's why you have Black Panther being in the billions, because people need this now.
You don't need to sugarcoat it. Listen, you should not like force the people, white people. It was African American. Come on, you need to have. And this is the one movie that I freaking love. I didn't mind that just Martin Freeman and Andrew Serkis were the only white people in it. I didn't care about that.
No,
because you know what? It wasn't even about the thing about being black. It was the whole thing about this culture. This civilization, this asteroid came down. They gave them vibranium. They built this whole city for themselves. They survived through everything, and now they're expanding. To, you know, and look at all they accomplished. It's amazing that they even kept it from the world too. I mean, wonderful. Listen, they had technology. But at the same day, they wore
But they
all those
feared-
head guards
like,
and all the.
like his speech said, he feared what they would use it for.
No,
And
but
that's why
also
that's
the
why
customs.
They wanted
Yeah.
to be
They didn't throw
loose.
out the customs. They kept the
No.
old school customs with all the
Mhm.
technology. That's why even the sister said, "Do I have to wear this stupid hat?" Yes, because that's the custom.
custom.
Yep.
We're not going to dump any customs. We're not going to. This is what you have to do. This is law. This is rule. And he followed it, even though it was ridiculous that they had to put that stuff
Mhm.
on, or somebody has to challenge him. That was part of the custom. And then you go in your house, you heal up, and you're on your laptop. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, you have the technology, but
And they respected one another in that movie
Yeah.
too. No matter
They really did.
the dudes from the mountains, even though they didn't
Yeah.
agree with them, they respected them.
yes.
And they
They
all
did.
work for a common goal, and that's
Yep.
what the message is. Everybody came together and worked for a common goal.
And nobody could just come into Wakanda without, like, they wouldn't let
Exactly.
anybody in,
Mhm.
with the exception of, like, something was going on with him, and they let him in.
Yeah,
Commander.
I'm telling you, it's a deeper movie than any of the Marvel movies I've seen.
It was deep,
It
beyond
was
deep.
very deep. It was
It was not a superhero movie in a way. It was just
no.
And that was
Beyond
what
that.
made it good
Yeah.
too, is they wrote it in a manner
They
of
wrote it,
it's
yeah.
not a superhero movie.
no,
It was
definitely not.
a-
It's about
it's a
culture.
great movie.
Yeah, it's about culture, basically. That's
Listen,
it.
the whole point of the movie too is you never forget where you came from.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the main thing. Like, we may have the greatest technology ever, but we're still going to wear the royal garb. We're going to do these different things. We're going to have people plowing the fields like they used to do, because
Yeah.
we don't want to forget that,
Yeah.
where we
Well,
get
keep
too
ourselves
big.
humble, because if we get too high and mighty, we don't know what'll happen.
Right. And all those people
So,
were not starving because Wakanda,
Yeah.
they just made the image for everybody to see that. But
Mhm.
their houses were so high tech you wouldn't even believe. Like, so that's the whole point. It's just, you never forget where you came from. As great achievements
And
as
if
you
you
make,
think about the fact that they didn't depend so much on technology and all that, none of them were wanting for anything.
well, they did have technology.
But no,
now.
I'm just saying the way they had fixed it up, they were not wanting. They didn't.
Even
allow
if something happened, they still could
want
survive
become
without.
such a greed in their lives.
Right. Yeah. So it was very
I
powerful
love,
movement, that
yeah,
movie.
I love the ending. I love the
love it.
ending to that movie.
Yeah.
It was just such a strong message.
Mhm.
Like,
And the fact that they, at the end of the movie, spoilers, that they healed Bucky means that
Yeah.
they reached out to people. They've been reaching out to people and helping people.
mhm.
I like that. Fantastic. Fantastic movie. It's
Yeah.
one of the top. Because it didn't try to be a superhero movie.
No.
It was just, let's go based on our culture, and let's go. And you know what? It's so profound and huge in the world right now that they want Wakanda to exist.
Yes.
Yep.
People think it exists because they're like, this is so great, but it doesn't. But great job, Marvel. I mean,
that's what Marvel.
DC.
That's
Take a note from Marvel.
it's finally shows what Marvel's purpose was, and this movie did it. And I can't find no flaws in it or anything, because
they're trying to get Africa to make a city of Wakanda just because of this movie. They are.
It doesn't surprise me.
And it blows the mind. But you know what? And people right now, they're getting dressed up. They're all happy.
Mhm.
Listen, if a movie makes you happy like this, then it's
Don't
success.
question it.
This is timeless. This movie. This
Yeah,
movie
it
will be
is.
remembered for
Yeah,
a long time.
absolutely.
And about
And-
20 years ago, this is going to be considered a classic movie.
This is going to be like a Casablanca or something
Yep.
that Gone with the
Yeah.
Wind that you never forget. And
Mhm.
honestly, of all the Marvel movies, this will stand the test of time, and people will remember Black
Because
Panther.
it's a historic movie, basically.
Yeah.
This is a historic movie. Not saying, not to bring no less to Avengers, but this is an actual historic movie.
This should beat Avengers. I hope this
Yeah.
beats it. I mean, the original Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
We know that Infinity War is going to be number one. We know that.
Yeah.
But still. Yeah. But to evoke such emotion.
Mhm.
I mean, Bill, you got to watch it again, man.
I'm sorry,
did.
no Marvel movie has done that for me until I watched this movie, and it hit home really bad.
Yeah, man.
It pulled something out of me, like it.
It doesn't matter what color you
Yeah.
are.
You
You can enjoy this movie
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah,
So
it hits home for everyone that's
Yeah,
living in
it
this
does.
day and age. This is what needs to happen in real life.
And the way they opened it up at the same time with that the sand, their little sand thing. That's what really helped it as well.
But you know what? Also, what was moving too, that you had these friggin' people in Congress and the UN, all these friggin' racist pigs or whatever they are, and they look down on you. That what could you offer to us? Kiss my ass, like honest. And he's laughing because they're looking at us like our color, like our from our. It's never changed. Like they're looking at us like we have a different color, and we have nothing to offer. We're more technologically advanced than they ever will be, and their egos are like shit. I mean, basically, it was very powerful. What, we're on time limit?
No, I was just counting down when
7:27 is now.
Yeah, no, I was just counting down when they threw it all the stuff that they could offer the world when they were doing the whole little looking down on Wakanda.
Yeah. So still, and there's no proper. I'm sorry, Billy, but there's no proper timeline for Marvel. They don't have it right. They got it wrong with Homecoming. They even admit it.
Yep, they did.
And I was right when I said that's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They admitted it. So who's right? We are. There you go. Because we said it. But you're not giving me props for that one. But anyway, Spider-Man will have spider sense in Infinity War.
Too late, though. He should have had it at home.
Should have had it already. Yeah. But you know what? When Marvel does it themselves, it's real.
Yeah.
Someone else had running the show. They did their own thing, but now they're going to have Spider-Sense at Homecoming, too, because Marvel just set the stage, baby, the way it has to be. Anywho, what else do we have to talk about?
We got 6 minutes.
We have minutes. Minutes left. We covered KB Toys. We covered Rick and Morty. We covered Cagney and Lacey. We covered Black Panther. We covered tons of stuff, but now we covered Cloak and Dagger, which looks like crap.
Oh, Jesus, freeform, man. They need to step it up.
Oh, and Constantine's going to be a series regular if Legends of Tomorrow gets renewed for a 4th season, which it probably will anyway.
Yeah,
because the CW, it looks like a lock, basically. All right, we're going to get out of here. We're not going to stretch this. So thank you guys. Take care. Bye for now.